Hi everyone, this is AJ from Mobius, and today I'm going to show you how to install and remove the air thread tension tumbler on the M108S trimmer. Start by locking the machine into place and opening the lid. We always want to have the lid open when the tumbler is not under tension so that the wires are not caught on the blade components. With the lid open, slide the tumbler into place. This can be done solo, but it's often helpful to have a second set of hands to hold the opposite end of the tumbler while you guide the lead end cap into the lid. Once the tumbler is loosely positioned within the lid, install one of the blue retaining rings onto the in-feed end. The tabs on the ring will show silver and alternate with the tabs on the tumbler end cap when unlocked. Rotate the ring counterclockwise to lock into place. Note when the ring is fully locked into place, the silver tabs will no longer be visible. Next, grab your spring jack tool and position the two handles and the valve in the middle vertically with the knobs on the back pointed down. Insert the spring jack into the receiving holes on the lid and rotate the handles inwards. Note, if there's air in the chamber of the spring jack, simply lean into the handles to release that air through the valve. It will bleed off after a few moments, allowing you to rotate and lock the spring jack handles into place. Finish up by rotating and locking the air valve into place. The handles and valve dial will now all be in one line. Attach your air supply to the Schrader valve on the spring jack and apply enough pressure to bottom out the spring pack in the lid. This will typically run between 100 and 130 psi. The number itself doesn't matter. The purpose is to give ourselves enough slack on the tumbler to get the opposite retaining ring on. A note on air supply options. Handheld air compressors are inexpensive and will perform this task effortlessly within a few seconds. If you're using a hand pump, follow these tips. Thread the connector onto the Schrader valve firmly and squarely. Before you begin to pump air, flip the pump lever up to open the valve and allow air to flow into the spring jack chamber. If you're seeing the pressure dial on the pump go up but the spring pack is not compressing, it's a sign that your pump lever is not engaged and you're just filling up the hose with air, not the spring jack chamber. If your pump has an air release button, position your hands in a way that does not press this button when you're pumping air. This will counteract all of your hard work. Okay, back to our tumbler installation. Now we're ready to install the retaining ring on the opposite side of the tumbler. Just as was done with the first retaining ring, position this one with the ring tabs alternating with the tumbler end cap tabs. Position your hands so that your fingers are pulling out on the black tumbler end cap and your thumbs are pushing in and rotating the blue ring into the locked position. Again, no silver on the ring tabs should be visible. Before tensioning the tumbler, it's important to check the alignment of the wires. Working from one end, trace one of the tumbler wires across to the other end. Rotate the loose end as necessary to ensure that the tumbler wires will be straight once under tension. The final and most satisfying step can now be taken. Push in and rotate the valve dial on the spring jack counterclockwise. The spring pack will decompress and the tumbler is now under tension. Rotate the spring jack handles outward and remove the tool from the lid. Before moving back into operation, perform these quick checks. Take a look at the two retaining rings and ensure that the silver tabs are not visible. This means that the rings are fully locked into place. Give the tumbler a quick back and forth rotation to ensure that it moves freely. Once you've closed the lid, perform a 6-point inspection to ensure that the tumbler and all blade components are properly in place and aligned. Now let's take a look at removing the tumbler. Again, start by locking the trimmer into place and opening the lid. Install the spring jack tool, rotate the handles and valve dial into position and apply enough air to bottom out the spring pack, relieving the tension on the tumbler. Rotate the retaining ring on the outfeed end clockwise to unlock and then remove it. Release the pressure on the spring jack by rotating the valve dial and remove the tool from the lid. Unlock and remove the other retaining ring and slide the tumbler out of the lid. For more information, including guidance on tumbler care and 6-point inspection instructions, please visit mobiustrimmer.com.